Yo. What's going on, man? Today is April the 16th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter right now. I'm also live on YouTube as well. First and foremost, I want to shout out the new member, Norman Torres. Appreciate you joining the community over on YouTube. And we got a lot of NBA to talk about today. Want to do a quick recap of yesterday, as I always do. Um, we had a pretty good day yesterday, 4-1 to open up the NBA playoffs. We recap strolling at the bottom. Spencer Dinwiddie did stay under his 17 and a half points. Finished with 14, got pulled about 4 minutes left after the game turned into be like somewhat of a blowout. So that cashed, and Joel Embiid didn't go over his 11 and a half rebounds. I thought that the Brooklyn Nets would miss a lot of shots, and I thought Joel Embiid would get a lot of rebounds. But that wasn't the case. PJ Tucker actually out rebounded him. So I tweeted it yesterday. I'll probably stay away from rebound props just a tad bit because it seems like they're kind of fluctuating. That's two misses in a row. We missed on Vucevic 2 days ago on Friday as well. So probably lay off rebound prop. Joel Embiid was the only guy that we took that didn't cash. We also cashed the Kings minus the one. Steph Curry barely got there late, but I knew that they would need his offense. So I like the 29 and a half points that cashed. And Keegan Murray, I talked about the lights being too bright. For some of these rookies and some of these role players, specifically when they're on the road, I'll be targeting that angle a lot throughout the playoffs. So hopefully we can keep it going today. 4-1 day. Like I said, hopefully we can kind of keep it going. So we got 4 games today. I have one play that I've placed so far and a couple of things that I just kind of got sitting in my best slip that I want to talk to you guys about. If you are a member and you're at the ChrisBeCappinn support ChrisBeCappinn community tier, then you did get the play earlier this morning when I gave it out. I think the line does move throughout the day before it starts, which is why I wanted to kind of give that out. Matter of fact, let me go check real quick. Yeah, the line looks like it is moving just a tad bit, but it hasn't moved too much. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump right into it. As you guys join, if you wouldn't mind doing me the favor of hitting the like button, sharing your plays, give me your best looks over on the YouTube comment section as well. And let's jump right into it for today. Share the show as well. Greatly appreciated as always. And let's jump into it. So first game up, I spent a lot of time, probably too much time trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my Lakers today, man. So Lakers and Grizzlies. Line did open in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies as 3-point home favorites. Now this team has actually moved. You see the money coming in on Memphis because the line's now at 4. So, books are anticipating this game to kind of get away from the Lakers. The total opened at 229. It is down to 220. I think some money came in this morning. It's down to 228 and a half because the total had kind of remained the same. And this is an interesting game, man. I got a lot of notes. I won't give you guys everything that I have because I feel like it's just too much. But I did do some deep diving in this game. What I will tell you guys is that I typically stay away from my Lakers. You guys know if I see my guy Ronald in the chat, if you guys have been watching the show, I think it was after the Lakers lost to the Rockets in Houston. I told myself I'm done watching this team. Well, not watching, but I'm done betting on this team. And I didn't lose that night, but I was like, I don't want to even talk about them right now. So I do like our chances, though. I like our chances in this series, not necessarily in game 1 specifically. Shout out to my guy Reem. We were going back and forth this morning in the DMs. I did post the question on Twitter. Whether you guys thought the Lakers had a fighting chance in this game, and Reem gave me some numbers that I don't necessarily like, man. He first of all, he said that Bron is 3-14 in the playoffs in road game 1s, which I don't like that at all. And then the Lakers are 1-9. I'm sorry, 1-8 in their last 9 game 1s when they're on the road. So not a lot to like there. But what I will tell you guys is that the Lakers have been playing really good basketball, man. Anybody who's been kind of following should know that. 17-7 straight up. 17-7 straight up. In there, since the All-Star break, they're 3-1 straight up, and against the spread as road dogs since the All-Star break as well. 3-0 to the under in all 3 of those games also. And after the All-Star break, this team is 14th offensively rated, fourth defensively rated for a net rating of 6. I also looked at just the return of Bron, because there was a lot of fluctuation between when Bron came back. Bron missed about a month, so he came back on March the 26th, and the Lakers were 6-2 straight up, and had the which was the fourth best record in point differential, at plus 7.7, with the fourth best offense in the league, fifth best in effective field goal percentage. Defensively, they were 13th in points per possessions allowed and 14th in opponent effective field goal percentage, and they were the best rebounding team in the league as well. 19th. I think this is one of the things that's going to be really, really key in this series, is how well the Lakers can defend transition, because they typically struggle in that spot. They finished 19th in half court points per possession, which we know that they can score in the half court. I think they can score a little bit better than Memphis can in the half court, and I'll talk about Memphis in a second. But 7th in transition points. The Lakers like to get out, whether it's off of rebounds or it's off steals, and they did, like I said, finish 27 in opponents' fast break points allowed. We know Memphis also likes to get out and run at a pretty fast pace as well. X factors in this series, definitely going to be guys like Anthony Davis on the Lakers side and Jared Jackson Jr. on the Memphis side, specifically because they've kind of struggled to rebound the ball. AD was dominant. He averaged 26 and 13 points with 3 assists in 21 games since the All-Star break. Some of those games had LeBron in them, of course. Some of them didn't. 31 and 14 and 2.5 assists is what he averaged in 8 road games after the All-Star break. And he averaged 29 on 56% shooting and 20.5 rebounds to go with 3.5 blocks versus the Grizzlies this season. So he's been dominant against this team. I'm pretty sure they start off with Xavier Tillman on him and then have Jared Jackson Jr. kind of roaming so that he can come over and help when they need him to. But the Memphis Grizzlies, if you go back and watch the games, Memphis didn't double AD when they played him. And the thing that I like most about AD is that he averaged 11 free throw attempts per game as well. So aggressive Anthony Davis is something that, the Lakers will definitely need if they're going to keep the series, potentially win the series. So now flipping it to the Grizzlies. After the All-Star break, this team finished 12th in offensive rating, 9th in defensive rating, 9th overall in net rating. I wanted to see how this team, how much Steven Adams specifically, affects this team. So in 43 games without Steven Adams, their defensive rating was slightly better with him in those 43 games. 110.5 was their defensive rating. In 40 games without him, did jump to 113.5. So about a 3-point differential in defensive efficiency. Also, I think equally important is when you think about Memphis, you think about how good of a rebounding team they are, specifically on the offensive end. And that number did take a big, drastic change. With Adams, this team was averaging 50 rebounds per game. Without him, they're averaging just 43. After the All-Star break, you also look at Memphis. They ranked just 24th in overall rebounding and 25th in offensive rebounding. I think that's going to be the key because the Lakers have been a really, really good rebounding team. You look at the Grizzlies, they rank just 22nd in half court points per possessions, points per 100 possessions. Like I said earlier, their best offense is their defense and their ability to kind of get out and, push the pace with Ja Morant, with Desmond Bane, with Tyus Jones. Those guys are, the best. That's the best form of their offense. They rank 3rd in transition points per 100 possession. Because like I said, they like to get out and run. And they also rank 16th in fast break points allowed. So kind of middle of the pack towards the ladder of the pack when it comes to fast break defense. As far as the total in this game, I didn't really want to play the under just because both teams, the Lakers can come in here and absolutely, wet the bed. And I think that's what a lot of people are anticipating in game 1. But I kind of feel like the Lakers are live dogs. I think if the spread goes up just a tad bit, I might end up taking the Lakers if I could get a plus 4.5 and not have to lay too much juice. I think that this is going to be a widely, closely contested game. I think there's going to be a filling out phase, which is why it's not going to, why I probably we'll stay off. I don't like to play a lot of game ones, but I do like I love that the Lakers have been playing so good recently. And Memphis is a super big juggernaut at home specifically, but I feel like the Lakers have enough to kind of keep this game close. I just don't know if they necessarily win it. And I think that they can win it as well. And this is the last angle I want to share with you guys from a live betting perspective. So and I think I'm gonna tweet this out as well because I got it kind of cropped already. So Memphis has been one of the better first half teams in the league. I think we all kind of know that. It's Memphis, it's the Timberwolves, it's the Knicks. It's these teams that play really, really good in the first half. So typically, and what I'm talking about is a live spread for the Lakers, potentially at the end of the third quarter, or maybe with a couple minutes left in the third quarter. If I play it, I'll send it out to my members. If Memphis is winning big, right? I don't think that the Lakers are ever going to lay down in this game. So what I have written in my notes based on the research is while everything from the regular season doesn't necessarily carry over from the playoffs, because I think we all know that, what has been consistent with both the Grizzlies and the Lakers is their play in the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies have been notoriously bad at closing out games. They finished the season with the second worst fourth quarter offensive rating, only a 107, behind only the San Antonio Spurs, who had a 106. And we know that they were tanking for Victor Wembanyama in most of their fourth quarters. They had a net rating of minus 5.2 on the season in the fourth quarter. And then on the opposite side, you look at the Lakers, they actually finished the regular season with the best fourth quarter offensive rating, 120.4, and were the third best in net rating as well. They also finished top 10 in fourth quarter rebounding and third in effective field goal percentage. The Lakers defense, since LeBron returned after the All-Star break, so I'm talking about that period from March the 26th until now, they actually, and that's a 10-game sample, they actually allowed just 25.6 points in the fourth quarter. And like I said, the Grizzlies, they're one of the worst fourth quarter teams. So potential live spot if you want to take the Lakers if Memphis gets up early, and you can get a much better number than the current number of 3.5 or 4.5. So that's kind of what I wanted to share in this game. I'm like I said, it's kind of a fill out game, so I don't necessarily want to jump on, too many props. I was looking at one spot I was looking at was D'Angelo Russell to go under. I think his points prop is 15.5. I think I like fading D'Angelo Russell when the Lakers are playing against a good defensive team. The Grizzlies have been a top 10 defensive team throughout the entirety of the season. I didn't play this, just FYI. I'm just kind of giving you guys my analysis around it. I think I saw this a little bit juiced, minus 120 or something like that. But to me, it kind of feels like D'Angelo Russell is going to struggle potentially to stay on the floor. I think Dennis Schroeder had his hands full. He didn't do the greatest job of guarding Ja Morant, but I think he plays the point guard minutes in this series similar to the way that the Lakers and the Timberwolves matched up in that play-in game. You see, D'Angelo Russell kind of get played off the floor, and Dennis Schroeder, even though he rolled his ankle, came in and played extremely well in the second half for the Lakers, and D'Angelo Russell was sitting on the sideline clapping like me. So I think there's potential. I don't see who he guards in this series. If I'm looking at it from a defensive perspective, I think the Lakers can move the ball without him. And I don't like him in this series as much. He can't stay in front of Ja Morant. You can't really hide him on Desmond Bane because Desmond Bane is extremely aggressive as well. And I don't think he guards Dylan Brooks either. So I kind of like the look of I think this is going to be a defensive game. So I kind of like the look of D'Angelo Russell to go under. He also struggled in the playoffs last year against the same Memphis Grizzlies team, because I vividly remember taking him game one against the Grizzlies in the first game of the playoffs last year because he had played so well against them during the regular season. He laid a dud. So I guess I would say a pretty strong lean towards D'Angelo Russell to go under his 15.5 points. I think the Lakers rely a little bit more on Schroeder. Of course, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and LeBron James. So that would, I guess, kind of be my contrarian under in that spot right there. And real quick, I want to take a pause just to kind of go catch up in the chat, and then I'll jump into the next game and kind of give you guys my analysis, and we'll keep it moving. Let's see. So Sean said, what's going on? Let's have ourselves a Sunday and make some money. Hit the like button for me. Appreciate you, Sean, and appreciate everybody for hitting the like button as well. Captain Zach said, yes, sir. Good morning, gambling community. Less cash. Hit the like button while you're at it. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for telling others to hit the like button. It's crazy. I give so much information. I don't get that many likes on videos. It's free. hit the like button. And I encourage you guys to do so. But yeah, we'll keep going. Frank said, let's go. Let's get some cash. Wow, somebody's from, I can't, if I try to pronounce your name, I'm gonna butcher it, but I appreciate you listening all the way from Athens, Greece. Absolutely appreciate that. Jarabico, I think is how you pronounce that. Jarabica says Lakers money line. They still game one. I'm thinking, okay. Jalen says Scott Foster officiating this game as well. Oh man, I don't even think I looked at the referee report, so I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that, Jalen. I gotta confirm it, but thanks for sharing that. Jason said he took a beat in the last 2 days. I hope you get back to your winning ways, Jason. Franklin said leaning Luke Kennard over his 9.5 points. He has been a Laker killer. I will tell you that. He has been a Laker killer, Franklin, for sure. What's up to Free Minds? What's up to the chat, man? I appreciate you guys for coming in, coming through. Fremont said, I think the Grizzlies get them first game, then the Lakers get it together next game. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that same way, and that's what the trends kind of show me, Fremont. So much as I want to take the Lakers in game one, and as well as they've been playing, I think I will sit on the sidelines in the first game, kind of watch and learn. I did that a lot yesterday. I watched all the playoff games yesterday. Didn't really play a lot except the 5 plays that I gave out, and yeah, more so props in the first game for me versus actually taking a side. Luke Kennard threes. Euphoria said 228 is too high in his opinion. Shout out to Dream. I'm not sure if this is Dream. I don't know if that's Dream, but shout out to Dream for becoming a member. Appreciate you, Dream. Trayvon says he likes Memphis, the Bucks, the Nuggets, and the Clippers plus 7.5. Okay. Mike says LeBron playoff teams usually always have a fill-out game in game one. I would agree with that. That's what the numbers support as well. Jeffrey says Ja over 14.5 rebounds and assists. Thoughts? I think I would lean over, Jeffrey. I didn't really evaluate it, but Ja typically goes over this number at home. Rebounds plus assists. The Lakers will have to try to keep him out of the paint. I'm not sure if Jared Vanderbilt guards him or not, but if the Lakers can contain Ja Morant, it's going to help a lot. If Ja Morant can get inside the paint, it does create a lot of those rebound and assist opportunities for sure. So if I had to play, I think on the 14.5, I probably would look towards the over, but it's not something that I put a lot of time and effort into, Jeffrey. I just kind of lean over because, stars going to be stars, especially at home when you got to protect, you got to kind of protect home. And I expect Ja to have a pretty big game today, to kind of keep them in it. ZPLC TV says, I'm gonna keep it a buck with everyone. Should be hitting the like button. It's free and it's simple. No beef. I come in peace. I appreciate that, man. Jarrell says, bro, you 100% right. D'Lo is a horrible defender. I love him under 15.5. Yeah, that's why I'm leaning. I didn't play it yet. But yeah, that's what I'm leaning. Leaning D'Angelo Russell under 15.5 points. Shadow Stefan said, I'm listening from Romania, Chris. Oh, let's get cash. Wow, that's far. That's far away from Virginia for sure. I appreciate you tapping in. What's up, y'all? I'm a little late, but we're here. Sean says Lakers plus 6.5 and over 217.5 is a plus 115 if you guys are interested in the side and a total together. Raptor says, do we run back the Grizzlies first quarter, first half since they are playing at home? I would say it's a fill out game for me, Raptor fan. If you got enough information or you got a gut feeling about it, take it. But I don't like taking these first quarters, first half, in these highly competitive games, right? I think we saw yesterday with the Cavs and the New York Knicks, right? To me, this series, the Lakers and the Grizzlies series, kind of feels competitive as that series did yesterday. So that's what I'll say there. Under is 9-1-2 last 12 at Memphis. Yeah, Memphis hasn't been the greatest offensive team. Fresco said Lakers going to win. I don't know how, but they're going to win. I hope you're right, Fresco. Hope you're right. Playoffs, slower pace, more defense. I agree with that, Euphoria. Adam says, is there a way to check team records with certain referees? Feel like Scotty loves helping Lakers. Yeah, there is. Just you can Google it, Adam. I would check a website like covers.com. I think they may have that information. Or shoot my guy Ronald Cobain at UCapper Sports. He'll have that information, and he always shares that information as well. Alfonso said Lakers 13-4 in road game ones. He thinks. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Is everybody and their mama on the Lakers? I would say no, Damian. I would say no because the spread is actually going the opposite direction. Alfonso says Grizzlies -2, -140. Heat +11 is a +140. Okay. If Shannon pulls up, the Lakers dub for sure. All right, let me keep going, man. Y'all see. I can't stay in the chat. All right, let's keep going. So let's talk about this Heat and this Miami Heat and the Bucks game, and I am interested in this one. I think this is a very very this game gives me a lot of betting excitement. Let's put it like that. So looking at this Heat team, I'm not going to give you guys all the stats that I typically do with the Heat because I kind of just went over who they were and what they were, on Friday when they won the game against the Chicago Bulls. And not too much has changed in my estimation. They're not in the greatest spot. They're playing on just 1 day's rest after that dogfight of a game where they had to come from behind against the Bulls to even be here in the first place. So they had a major rest disadvantage, 6 days of rest compared to just 6 days of rest for the Bucks, compared to just 1 day of rest for them. Since 2015, and this is a trend that I looked at, since 2015, less rested road dogs in the first round of the playoffs, and that's also a game one. They're 6-10 against the spread, 12-4 to the under, with those games staying under by an average of 13 points. If you take out that it's the first round and you just kind of focus on any game one of a series since 2015 as well, those road dogs are 15-29 against the spread. So that's a 66% fade of the Heat today. Road dogs of 9 points or more at the rest disadvantage in game one of a series in general are 7-15 against the spread, dating all the way back to 2004. They're losing by an average of 15 points. So those are like some league-wide trends over the course of the Killer Sports database. But looking at the Heat this season, so the Heat were 6 points. They were dogs of 6 points or more 8 times this season. And they finished just 3-5 against the spread in that spot. And they only averaged 106.5 points in that spot as well. These were games where they played against really solid teams like the Bucks and the Sixers and the Celtics and, maybe Denver. I can't remember all of them, but like I said, they only averaged 106 points in that spot. They also allowed 115.9 in those 8 games. And the Bucks have been an elite offensive team that has been playing with a lot more pace also. We know that the Bucks play they're better defense on the road, and they typically just outscore you at home. You look at the Heat defensively, while they did finish 9th on the season, they were 22nd in the second half of the season after the All-Star break with a defensive rating of just 117.1. So now you flip it to the Bucks. They did finish the season just 2-2, straight up 2-1-1 against the spread versus the Heat. But if you look at those games, Giannis did miss a big portion of those games. So he got hurt in the 4th game of the season. That was the blowout. The Bucks actually blew the Heat out. But he got hurt. He only played 4 minutes. He had 35 points in the 3rd matchup of the season, and then he didn't play in either of the first two matchups that were in Miami. One of the reasons why I didn't necessarily want to lay the points with the Bucks in this spot is because that they were only 4-8 against the spread when they were 9-point favorites this season or more. But they did finish those 12 games averaging 120 points. The Bucks also averaged per cleaning the glass. The Bucks also averaged 114 points per 100 possessions versus the top 10 defensive teams in the league. So if they played a team that was a top 10 defensive team, they still were scoring about 114 points per 100 possessions, or you could say per game. In home games specifically, though, because like I said, the defense gets better on the road. In home games specifically, they averaged 119.8 points per 100 possessions versus the top 10 defensive team. So I say all that to say that while I lean towards the Bucks minus the 9, and I think that they probably do cover the spread, I also feel like to stay away from all that, I just play the Bucks team total. And that is the play that I play. That's also the play that I gave out earlier as well. So Bucks team total over 114.5. I do think that the number is going to move. I do see it up to 115.5 on a couple books as well. And if the spread grows throughout the day, then I think that the money will probably come in on the Bucks, and this number will get bigger. So I do think the Bucks score. I don't think that they have trouble scoring against Miami. I know Miami is one of the slower paced teams in the league, but the Bucks play at such a fast pace. And the alternative to not taking the Bucks team total to go over the 114.5 is, if you think the game is going to go under, you could look at the Heat team total, which is only 105.5. And to me, I don't think the Bucks necessarily, they haven't been concentrating on their defense as much. So that kind of talks me off the team total for the Heat to go under 105.5. Although a lot of the trends that I looked at, especially when you get these big lines in these game ones, they do favor the under. And this total is extremely low. I think it opened at 218. It's up to 220 now. So money's coming in on the over. But this is a very similar situation to, in my estimation, to the Boston Celtics playing against the Atlanta Hawks yesterday. I don't think that the Celtics got to their team total because their defense is so good. We know that the Celtics finished top 5 defensive team, so they didn't necessarily need to get to their defense, get to their total, just because they held the Atlanta Hawks under their team total. So it can be frustrating taking these team totals to go over when you can, you don't necessarily, the team doesn't need to score that many points. I just kind of feel like the Bucks will play with pace and they'll go over the 114.5. But like I said, the alternative is the under for the Heat to not be able to score 106 points in this spot. So you can play it either way, but I did take the Bucks team total to go over 114.5, and that's the play that I gave out to my YouTube community as well, membership community. Let's get back to the comments real quick. I'll try to get through some of these, and then I'll jump back in on the Timberwolves and the Nuggets, and then I'll be brief on the Clippers and the Suns, and then I'll open it up to anybody else, because I don't want to have an extremely long show today, but I do want to give other people time to kind of share their looks that they have as well. So my man said he's listening from Kazakhstan. You probably don't even know such a country. I do not know, but I appreciate you. I do appreciate you listening from over there. Yeah, okay. Let's see what else y'all got in the chat. How are we not rushing Grizzlies first quarter or first half? You can take it if you want to. Like I said, it's a fill out game for me. I'm not playing the first quarter or first half for either team. I don't think everybody on the Lakers. I think the Laker fans are on the Lakers. The subjective Laker fans are maybe on the Lakers, but like I said, it's a fill out game for me. Jarrell says, I love Giannis over 29.5 points. Who's going to cover him? I couldn't talk you off of that. Giannis rebounds plus assists would probably be my top look. They'll have to send doubles and build a wall, and I think that with how poor the Miami Heat defense is, I think that Giannis gets a lot of, dishes. I think that he gets a lot of rebounds in this spot. Miami also, they're not a terrible rebounding team, but they're not the greatest rebounding team. And Giannis is a really, great rebounder himself. So I think I like Giannis, his rebounds plus assist number. I'm not even sure what it is, but that's the way I would look, more so than his points. But I couldn't talk anybody off his points. And I actually need to write that down because I just kind of thought about that. I haven't evaluated any player props in that game. I just kind of wanted to play the total. D Russell, like I said, under 15.5 points. Also not an official play, but something I want to look a little more into. And same thing, Bucks early. Okay, I couldn't talk you off Bucks early. Could not talk you off Bucks early. Euphoria said he's on that Bucks team total with me as well. Let's cash it, Euphoria. Alfonso said Bucks are not 9 points better than the Heat, in my opinion. Okay. The Bucks about to smack them. Trayvon said, I'll trust the team that's in rhythm than the team that's been chilling at the crib. We'll see that, rest versus rust component today for sure, Alfonso, especially with some of these big favorites, just been kind of chilling at home. So we'll see how it goes. Same thing that happened to the Hawks yesterday will happen to the Heat today, Mike says. Okay. Giannis line moved to 18.5. Rebounds plus assists, I'm guessing. Bucks defense at home combined with Bucks scoring at home. Okay. Mike says, if it wasn't for the Bulls going cold at the end of the Heat would have lost. Yeah, Heat did step up defensively, but you're right. Zach LaVine just had a terrible, terrible day. Giannis going to smack the buckets today. Let's see what else. Grayson Allen over 8.5 points and 10 plus. Damian said he's like that. I couldn't talk anybody off a role player like Grayson Allen who should get a lot of 3-point shots today. And, the Bulls were able to knock them down. So Grayson Allen should be able to too. I can see that. I see Bucks scoring 120 and their line is at 115. Yeah, same Euphoria. My guy UCapper says since 2018, Scott Foster referenced Grizzlies are 3-0 against the spread. The Lakers 3-1 against the spread. Home teams are 25-16, and the favorite is 33-22 against the spread. Home favorites are 21-12 against the spread. I trust all of those numbers from my guy RC. So yeah, I mean, if you guys if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see the tweet here, or you can go up and scroll to it. But those are the official stats with Scott Foster reference for the Lakers, the Grizzlies, for the home team, for the favorite, and for the home favorite. So RC did us a big favor by dropping all that information in the chat. Appreciate you immensely, RC, for that. That's really good news. Also makes me not want to bet on the Lakers in this spot today. So I'm glad I'm chilling. Jarrell said he loves the Bucks today. They have tendencies on letting teams backdoor cover at the end of the game. Exactly, Jarrell. That's why I played the team total versus playing the spread. So I would agree to that. Chris Paul is sipping Lobos this morning to celebrate no Scott Foster. Oh man, I like it. We just kind of talked about Ja to go over his 14.5 rebounds plus assists. Tom, I gave my analysis on it, but it's nothing official that I played. Just kind of talked about it a tad bit. Ja over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. All right, let's keep going. A lot of information in the chat. I can't keep up with it all. Hey Chris, remember the defensive props from the Bulls game? Good looks any for today for this game? Not yet, Hendry. If I have anything that I absolutely love, I posted in the YouTube member section earlier that I don't have a complete card yet, but those are just the looks that I'm liking so far. So I do think that the number of, my amount of plays will grow. I'll probably have at least 3 plays today, but right now I only have 1 official play. And I just kind of shared it with you guys and shared it with my members earlier this morning. And that is the Bucks team total to go over 114.5 is what I put my money on so far today. Wu said Giannis over 3.5 rebounds in the first quarter. What do you think about Jokic under 22.5 rebounds plus assists? I didn't really look into it, but that is an interesting number. I don't think I would play the under on Jokic. It'd be over or nothing. Even though the Timberwolves are really good, I'm going to get into that game, so I'm gonna get there. Let's see. 1780 Guap says Grizzlies money line first quarter, safer play, unpredictable how we can come out after days off. Everybody forgetting the Heat are trash. Riding with you on the team total. Let's cash it, man. Let's cash it. Guap says he's on the Oakland A's today. Run line plus 1.5, minus 120, small play. Look ahead spot for the Mets, for the New York Mets today. Jared Jackson Jr. out early, foul trouble. Chris Middleton over 18.5. I could see him getting there, even though he might be a little rusty. Didn't play it though. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Like I said, I want to make this show a little bit shorter today. So Timberwolves and the Nuggets are the next game. And this is not the greatest spot for the Timberwolves here. We know that they had to go through the play-in tournament. These teams that have to go through the play-in tournament, I don't have data to kind of the actual numbers, but teams that have to go through the play-in tournament typically put themselves at a huge rest disadvantage. And it's rest versus rust. So maybe it's not necessarily the worst thing, but this could be pretty bad for the Timberwolves here. They do play better as road dogs, though, is what I want to tell you guys. So we know that the Nuggets, they kind of slacked throughout the second half of the season. I did a lot of reading earlier this morning on, just from their beat reporters on, how they kind of spent the last week kind of, scrimmaging and doing team bonding exercises and, kind of looking at film and just kind of preparation now that they really have something to play for. This is the best team that Jokic has ever been a part of and probably the best chance for him to actually win a title. I love the Timberwolves. I love the Timberwolves a lot. I think most of you guys probably know that. I've been harping about how good their offense, not necessarily their offense, but how good their defense has been to kind of keep them in games and kind of keep them close. Looking at this game, it did open, I think, at the Timberwolves +6 or the Nuggets -6 as a home favorite. And the line has shot up to 8 now. The total has has come down, I want to say, just a tad. No, I think the totals actually stayed there. Let's see. Totals actually stayed the same. So 224.5. I don't think people really want to touch it there. But I do kind of lean towards the under. And before I get to the total, let me just talk a little bit more about each team. So the Timberwolves specifically, they did finish the season 14-5 against the spread as road dogs this season, losing those games by average of just 4 points per game. They were also winning the first half of those games 59 to about 51. So you see the spread today, it's about 4.5 in the first half for the Nuggets. We know that they do play well as a home favorite specifically. Major rest advantage here with the Timberwolves having to go through 2 play-in games to get to this spot after losing to the Lakers and then taking care of business on Friday night against the Oklahoma City Thunder, eliminating them. So back to the Timberwolves, 7-4 is their against the spread record after the All-Star break when they were road dogs, and they surprisingly enough they won the first quarter as road dogs in I think every single one of those games. They also won the second quarter, and they were winning the first half by average of 4 points per game. Now, granted, you can say that they weren't necessarily playing against the greatest competition, but this team was fighting for their playoff lives, for their play-in lives at the moment. And I think that they do it again today, man. I think the contrarian look of the day is the Timberwolves, and I actually like them first half. I didn't play it yet. Nuggets on the opposite side. They finished the season when they were a home favorite. They did go 21-15 against the spread. That's 58%. They were also 21-16 to the under. You look at the head-to-head matchups. I like to look at that if I think it's relevant. I don't think it's as relevant here. 3 of those 4 regular season matchups were all kind of good spots for the Timberwolves, even though I think that they do match up pretty well with this team. They caught the Nuggets on the second leg of a back-to-back in 3 of those 4 games, and they didn't have all their guys playing. We know that the Timberwolves made a lot of trades throughout the let's say a lot of trades. Let's say that their team is a little bit different. No D'Angelo Russell, you bring in Mike Conley. Rudy Gobert's been in and out of the lineup. Of course, Cat is back now as well. So addressing the total. So I said all that to say that I do like the Timberwolves in the first half plus the 4.5. Be sure to shop around because some books are offering a 4, and you definitely want to take the 4.5, especially if you're taking points. It's going to be turned up in Mile High tonight, but I do think the Timberwolves, they typically blow leads, and it wouldn't surprise me if they jumped out on the Nuggets in this spot. I think defensively, this team is really, really great, and I want to kind of get there in a second. So addressing the total in this one, 224.5 just feels like too many points to me. I talked about the Nuggets being 21-16 to the under as a home favorite. They were also 15-8. That's 65% if those games were conference games as well and they were home favorites. The Timberwolves, I've been harping on how good they are defensively, and we saw them hold the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they held them to under 100 points in that play-in game the other day. They also shut down my Lakers as well until the fourth quarter started, which is typically when they blow the lead. And they held AD and LeBron down as well. We know that the Nuggets have the best on paper player as far as offensive rating in the NBA when you talk about Jokic, but I feel like Finch has something up his sleeve. I know that they were guarding with Kyle Anderson and just had Rudy Gobert coming over in the previous matchups. And the last thing I'll mention, per cleaning the glass, this is a small sample size of just 212 possessions, but this season, I kind of go back to these numbers. This season, when the Timberwolves have had Mike Conley with Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert on the floor together, that's only 4 guys. So the 5th guy can change. But when those 4 key guys are on the floor, they're ranked in the 100th. I got a phone call. They're ranked in the 100th percentile defensively. So they're pretty much one of the best defensive teams in the league when those 4 guys are on the floor. They're only allowing 97.7 points, 100 possessions, and their opponent has an effective field goal percentage of 46.3. Those are the reasons why I lean towards the under. Strong lean towards the under. Haven't placed it yet. Like I said, I absolutely love it. If I play it, it will be in the membership, the YouTube membership section of the post on my YouTube page. So, like I said, Timberwolves plus 4.5 in the first half. And then I also really, really like the under 224.5, but just haven't gotten there yet. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. So that's kind of what I got. The last thing I want to say, and then I want to open it up because I haven't placed anything in the last game. I kind of feel like I want to do a little bit more research. But I do want to mention real quickly in this Clippers and the Suns game, the first thing that jumps out to me is we know how good the Suns are, right? Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant, right? Like this team is elite offensively, they're elite defensively as well. And I can give you guys the numbers to kind of back that up. But the first thing that kind of jumps out to me from the Clippers perspective is give me 1 second. Okay. The first thing that kind of jumps out to me from the Clippers perspective, the first thing I wanted to see is how well do the Clippers do since Russell Westbrook since adding Russell Westbrook with him on the floor and no Paul George on the floor at the same time. And this team there's only been 662 possessions so far this season. They are a minus 1.2 as far as point differential. Points per possession, they're actually in the 85th percentile, and they're scoring in that spot a little bit more than what they're expected to. 118.9 points per 100 possessions, effective field goal percentage of 61, which also ranks in the 99th percentile. Not the greatest offensive rebounding team, and defensively they are not doing well either. So they're allowing 120 points per 100 possessions, and their opponent has an effective field goal percentage of 55%. So that immediately to me screams that this game should probably go over. Westbrook being in is going to push the pace, I think. And I think that they need him for his playmaking if they're going to try to keep this game close. Even if Coach Ty Lue wants to go, with a different lineup and maybe throw, another point guard out there, I do think that they'll still need. I don't think that they can win this game with their defense solely. I think that they'll have to win it with their offense because the Suns are so elite offensively. And while I kind of kick it to everybody else, like I said, I don't have a play in the game yet. Like I said, I got a little more homework I want to do. A little bit more homework I want to do. I want to talk just a tad bit. I want to kind of look those numbers up because I didn't have it. Like I said, I still got some more work I want to do on this game. But really quickly, I want to see if I can pull up the Phoenix Suns when they have everybody on the floor so far throughout the season. So bear with me for 1 second. This shouldn't take longer than 15 seconds. So with Chris Paul on the floor and DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. This team, I'm pretty sure some elite numbers are going to pop up, and they did. They rank 100th in point differential. They're plus 19.7 as far as scoring. They are 99th in points per 100 possessions at 125.4. They are in the 100 percentile in effective field goal percentage at 61.8. They pretty much do everything really, really great. Defensively, they rank in the 98th percentile, only allowing 105.6 points 100 per possessions. And their defense also ranks 99th in opponent effective field goal percentage at 48.3. So those numbers kind of tell me, and that's a sample size of 319 possessions. And it doesn't really matter who that other player is. It could be Okigi, Torrey Craig, Terrence Ross, Isaiah Wainwright, Damian Lee. All of those guys are. It doesn't matter who that other guy is. So those numbers, immediately make me want to jump towards the Suns. Like I said, I haven't placed it yet, but I do think that even if you don't want to take the Suns, you can take the Suns team total to go over. because like I said, I do think that we see pace in this game. So I will probably have an official play for that game, but we got some time before that one starts. And I'm gonna jump back into the comment section. At this time, if you guys join late, please do me a favor and hit the like button for me. Also, if you have plays that you want to share, send me a request. I'll try to get through maybe top 5. You know, maybe first 5 people, because I don't want to be on here, like I said, for a long time. And I really feel like I got some more work I want to do as well. So I'm gonna go through the comment section and get up a few people before we shut it down. But just wanted to kind of, like I said, share my notes and my insight as always. Real quick before I get to my guy Frag, let's see. Where was I in the comment section? Torian Prince over 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Not something that I looked into. So I won't give you any analysis on that. Let's see, what else did you guys say? So Ronald got a query here. It looks like since 2014 in the playoffs, in the first game of a series in the playoffs, that's also in round 1, a home favorite versus a divisional opponent. I want to say you sent me this yesterday, RC. Let me check and make sure. I feel like you did. And this is probably going to tell us to take probably the Nuggets. Let's see. Season. I want to pull this up real quick for you guys so you can see it. Season equals 2014. And it's greater than or equal to 2014. And playoffs equals 1. And series game equals 1. And round equals 1. And a home favorite. And they're playing a divisional opponent. 19-7 against the spread. That says to back the Suns in this spot. It also says to back the Nuggets in this spot. 73% against the spread. Excuse me, against the spread with an average line of 7 points. So that says to back the Suns and to back the Nuggets today as well. Extremely profitable trend. If you look back to 2018, it looks like it's only lost twice over the course of. God damn. And appreciate you, I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm adding the Suns too then. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is enough to get me on. Yeah, extremely profitable trend. Looks like it's lost 3 times since 2019 is what I'm looking at. So love that. Appreciate you, RC, for sharing that as well. Sid said T-Wolves getting stumped today. Okay. Sid said they're getting stumped today. I like them first half. I didn't play it though. Mike Conley over 5.5 assists. Nuggets -10. The elevation is no joke. Euphoria said blindly betting all NBA playoff games under 2-2 yesterday. Okay. ChrisBeCappinn says took the Suns in the under on Wednesday. Not turning back now. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Says KD got a haircut is on. Lex says he bet the under 228 when the line first came out. Kawhi over 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jeffrey. Alex says, Chris, what do you think about Jrue Holiday? He's averaging 18-8 in his last 4 games against Miami. In playoffs, he's averaging 17.5 and goes over 16.5 in 2 of the 3 against Miami and probably 35 to 40 minutes today. So, Alex, what I'll tell you about that is you kind of got to – I love Jrue Holiday. I think he's going to be out there. I could absolutely see him going over. I will say that those numbers can be a tad bit misleading because 2 of those games, I remember watching them. I think they were on a weekend. It was like a Friday and a Sunday. Those games were played in Miami without Giannis. So I would look up Jrue Holiday game log with Giannis in, specifically against Miami as well, before I got a real strong opinion on that. Because like I said, he played a lot more when he had he had to do a lot more. Usage went up when they didn't have Giannis. Euphoria say he locked in Clippers plus 7.5. I don't think I can get there with you, Euphoria. I hope you I don't hope you cash it if I go the opposite way. We'll just see what happens. D'Lo assists over, Rob says. Holidays under, Lex says. Powell and Gordon are Clippers X factors. They absolutely are. That's a fact, Sid. If Dwight Powell and not Dwight Powell, if Norman Powell and Eric Gordon can play well, and Nicholas Batum, if those guys can make plays and make shots, they will have a chance. Yeah. Let's see what else. You guys can't hear me on YouTube. Can people still hear me? On Twitter. Let's see. KD points over. I don't even know what the line is. I'm on 501. Ain't That Dead says he can hear me now. Great. Okay. Just making sure. Was looking at Zubac points plus rebounds. What you think about that? I didn't check it at all, so I don't want to give you any analysis on that. What do you think about Jimmy over 1.5 steals? I could see him getting the steals, but it's nothing that I play, nothing that I look too deep into either. 77 figures says Nuggets are mid. They keep teams in games. Timberwolves will cash. Okay. Xavier Tillman over 7.5 rebounds. Mike Larry said he likes that. Bigs against Lakers always get double digits. Okay. Lakers are in troubles today, fellas. Okay. All right, cool. Let me open it up to Frag. Frag, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. It's Sunday. It's a lot of NBA action, Frag. I'm excited, man. I'm happy. How about yourself?
Facts, man. Can't complain, man. Another good day. Blessed. But the quick recap for the last time I was up here, I gave Isaiah Joe under 1.5 threes, and then Sarge under half a three. They both cashed. They got a couple more shots than I thought they would, but they didn't fall. So I'll take the lucky bounce my way.
Absolutely. It go opposite of you sometimes, so you got to take it when it bounces your way, right? For sure.
Yeah, facts. First thing I just want to say, just from watching that Brooklyn and Philly game, I'm not sure what Jacques Vaughn's going to do, if they're just going to keep blitzing Joel like how they've been doing. Joel's points is a good look, and then these other guys, like Niang and all these shooters, their threes is a good look, because he was touching and they were just doubling him right away. So I'm not sure if they're going to switch up their game plan, because I don't think it's going to work like that. You can't just double right away. So that's one thing that I just noticed. Just give out to people.
Yeah, my response to that, Frag, I would say, I watched that game too. I think what you do, I think you do the same exact thing, and you just make Philly beat you from three again. Like you got to make those. Like James Harden hit like 10 threes, it felt like last night. So yesterday. Yeah. So you kind of gotta just live with those results, because if Embiid get the ball in the paint, he's gonna shoot 80% from in the paint. So you got to just kind of live with James Harden and Maxey and PJ Tucker and, like you said, Gorgeous Niang. You got to live with them beating you, and you'll sleep better at night. So I would say, like you said, probably looking at Embiid to go under his points again in the next one, just because they don't want to lose by the way of Embiid. So I'm with you there, Fred.
Yeah. The first play I got, I'm going Brook Lopez, man. 20.5 points, rebounds. This is a complete mismatch. They got nobody for Brook Lopez down there. I know Giannis is going to eat, but I really think Brook Lopez is going to be the catalyst to this, this series being over in 4, I think, or 5 at least, 4 or 5. Like I said, they put Bam on him. He's too small. And they don't put Bam on him. I don't know who they're going to put on him. So I think Brook Lopez is going to absolutely smash these boys on the glass today. And I feel like he'd be the reason, they cashed their team total, first quarter spread, first half spread. I'm not on it just because of the rest factor and just, game one. But I do think they come out and they really blitz these boys. Miami, they suck. I'm just going to keep it a buck. They suck. I don't, no, SDQL or, analytical thing. They're just not a good team, man. This is going to be over in 4. This is going to be, they might come out, fight a little bit, but I just think the Bucks got too much, and I think Brook Lopez is going to be the main reason it gets ugly. So 20.5 points, rebounds for him is the first play. Second play, Kawhi Leonard, man, 27.5, man. We're talking 40 minutes from Kawhi, and Kawhi in playoff mode is a different beast, man. People could say about load management, this, that. But when Kawhi Leonard's on the floor in the playoffs, he's a top 5 player easily. I would even say top 3, depending on who you want to say. But Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs, he'll get busy tonight. 27.5, he'll get 30 tonight for sure. Those are 2 looks I got for now. I'm looking at Cat Daddy again, 23.5. I didn't get there last time you had spoke about it. I think it's a good matchup for him. If they put Jokic on him, I hope they put Jokic on
barbecue chicken.
And if they got Aaron Gordon, that's easy. That's easy. Just raise up, look to the basket, and pick and pop. So I think he could have a great series against these guys. just depending on what kind of mental he comes in with. You know, he can be kind of goofy sometimes and just kind of not locked in. He over there playing Call of Duty and shit or whatever. I've seen some clip about Mike Conley was saying we got to, look at film, and he was like, we playing COD or something. I don't know. He said something on those lines when Mike Conley was on the presser. So, hopefully it just comes locked in. It's a big series for them. They got a chance, depending on how they come out. But yeah, those are the plays I got for today, man.
Yeah, Frank. I'm looking at you spoke about Kawhi. I'm looking at his points per game, his playoff averages per game, and you hit that on the head, right? Looks like his last three playoff runs, he averaged 30 with the Clippers in 2021 to 2021 the 2020-21 season. He averaged 30.4 in the playoffs. The 19 and 20 year, he averaged 28.2. And then when he was in Toronto, he averaged 30 and a half. So yeah, you hit that one on the nose, right? I might have to ride with you on Kawhi.
Yeah, it's a different beast, and the usage is there. Paul, I mean, you said that Toronto team, there was a lot of good players on that team. So, like, he was still averaging that with, a lot of good players that could shoot. So I think the usage bump with PG being out, Westbrook not being, a crazy scorer, I think Kawhi just gets busy in the mid-range, and this guy's elite in the mid-range, man. Like, you're not going to see him out there just chucking bullshit. Every shot he shoots is something he wants to shoot, and where, he wants to get to his spot, he's going to get to his spot. That's why, like, him, SGA, guys like that, when you take their points, it's always a good bet because they just get busy. They don't mess around with, uncontested, like contested shots, bad shots. Like, they're getting busy. It's playoffs now. So
no, that's a fact, right? And just to back that up, like you said, field goal percentage every year for Kawhi in the playoffs, I don't see any where he shot under 47%, which is absolutely that's 50%.
Yo, that's he take 30 shots today, 28 shots.
Yeah,
so
that's
he getting them up. He gonna get them up
that's insane, bro. Like, he shot 57% from the field in 2021, 48.9, 49.0, 52, 50, 47. Those are his last 6 years playing in the playoffs. That's crazy, Frag. I'm probably gonna get there with you with Kawhi, man. I like that look a lot.
Yeah, Kawhi definitely get busy. And shout out to you, man. I wasn't betting yesterday. I just took it easy, but I seen you was on 30 yesterday to get 30, man.
Yes, sir. It felt like I had to be, Frag. I had to be, bro.
Nice,
against that Kings defense, yeah.
They laying these weak lines, like, there was, some of these lines they were putting on these guys like Jimmy Butler and stuff. They was a little inflated, but these guys like Curry, Kawhi, when they laying these joints, these weak lines under 30 in the playoff games with 40 plus minutes, you got to take it, bro. You can't miss these opportunities.
Yeah. No, I agree, Frank. I like the looks by you, man. Brook Lopez, 20 and a half points plus points plus rebounds, and Kawhi over the 27 and a half, Frank. Best of luck to you, bro. I hope you catch both of these, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having me up. Everybody have a good day and take care.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Teddy, I'm coming to you next, man. What's going on, Teddy? How you doing?
Hey, man. How's it going? Long time no talk, bro.
Long time, man. How you been doing?
I've been good, man. I just had a quick question for you and some of the other guys on here, like Mr. Caban, maybe. Do you guys take into account, like, for an example, in the Lakers-Memphis game, Scott Foster's the head chief of referees today. Do you guys take that into your guys' capping? Because I know Jay Money does with certain refs. Just a quick question, really quick for you.
Yeah, I would say yes, Teddy. It's the guy. It's those like it's like it's a percentile, right? It's like it doesn't really matter like who's gonna be the ref every single time, but those like top like 3-4 refs that have those really strong statistical backings for one side or one favor, well, like a favorite or the home team or the road team or a specific team. I think you absolutely have to start taking into consideration then. Not to say that it's necessarily going to mean something every single time, but I think that has to be a part of your capping. I wouldn't say that when people handicap games, when you're like really like handicapping games, there are a lot of different components, right? Like there should be things that you're looking at where you're like, okay, this is what I like about my argument, right? You're like, all right, I like that. If say you want the Grizzlies, you're like, all right, I like that the Grizzlies have such good splits at home because we know that they suck on the road, right? The Grizzlies, I don't think if they win game 1 and game 2, I'm betting the Lakers almost instantly for game 3 in a must-win spot, right? But the Grizzlies, they struggle on the road. So I like the Grizzlies because they play well at home, because Ja plays better, because their role players will play better. All this different information. The Lakers struggle in game 1s on the road in LeBron tenure. First-time head coach with no playoff experience, with Darvin Ham on the side. Like, you got all these different things on your side. But something else to kind of take into consideration is the referee component. So the way I cap games is the side that I have the most information on is the one that I'm going to be like, okay, no, this goes from I like it to I love it, right? So if I'm looking at the referee specifically, the refereeing component, and Ronald shared those numbers in the show. Can't remember exactly what they were, but if you scroll up, you should be able to see them. All of those numbers kind of favor the situation for the Grizzlies more so than the Lakers. He does ref well for the Lakers, but he does ref better for the home team. He refs better for the favorite, and he ref better for the Grizzlies as well. So that would just be one more thing that I would add on that side for reasons why I want to take the Grizzlies today.
Yeah, that's a good point, man, because I saw that right away, and I thought instantly, well, he's going to want LeBron getting to the free throw line or having the Lakers maybe advance. But you bring up a good point. So that's my first. Thanks for answering that question. And the next thing I was going to say, the only play I looked at was Jared Vanderbilt over 5.5 rebounds. I just think that's a little bit low. I don't see why he doesn't get to 6 here. That was pretty much the only play I looked at because, like you said, like the line just kind of seems fishy. It was at 3.5, now it's at 4. It's almost like the people keep betting the Lakers and it keeps going up a little bit. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got today.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Teddy. Best of luck, man. I think, yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I was reading earlier is, what Darvin Ham does with the rotation is going to be interesting in this throughout the entirety of the season, throughout the entirety of the series, because he's one of those coaches that is still going 10 guys into the rotation. And I don't necessarily, agree with it, but I think he's trying to just kind of figure it out. And Vanderbilt could be out there, a huge portion of today. And I think that he will be, but it's going to be chess and checkers. Hopefully it's more chess for the Lakers than checkers, because Vanderbilt could be out because he's a defensive he's an offensive liability as much as he plays good defense. So if Jared Jackson Jr. is on the floor, he's probably going to guard Jared Vanderbilt. And then if he guards Jared Vanderbilt is going to be in the dunker spot, right? Like, low post, on the baseline, between the 3-point, probably 5 steps in from the 3-point line. If the Lakers are struggling offensively and Ja Morant still having a good offensive game, Jared Vanderbilt minutes could be limited, and you bring in a guy like Rui Hachimura that makes Jared Jackson actually play defense and commit on the defensive end versus having Jared Jackson to actually roam. We'll see how it plays out, but that's just based on what I read, based on what I'm seeing. That's kind of how I feel about that. Darvin Ham will have to tighten up his rotation. He got to figure out whether he wants Beasley to be in, what he's going to do with some of those bench guys like Troy Brown Jr. We'll see what it looks like though, because he is still going super deep into that bench. What up, Fred?
It's cool if I just say something about that Scott Foster thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Scott Foster definitely has an agenda. This guy, he pushes, I don't know, when he refs, you could kind of just see the way, what side he's on.
Mm-hmm.
I would say one thing about, they got Dylan Brooks, he's a hothead. He's, he could definitely get into some, just some BS. And one thing I would say about Jaren Jackson, man, he does not have a favorable whistle compared to these other guys like Draymond and these other guys. Jaren Jackson whistle is pretty shit compared to these other guys that they're committing real fouls. And I've seen a lot of fouls where Jaren Jackson, it's really ticky-tack, if you've seen on the last play, Draymond Green was literally wrestling with Sabonis at the end of the game. Jaren Jackson was involved in that. I'm thinking they call a foul. So you could definitely see Jaren Jackson maybe get into foul trouble with Scott Foster in the game. But yeah, you never know. I wouldn't solely just make a bet just because Scott Foster's reffing the game, but you could definitely see what he's up to if you just watch the game. You could kind of just tell what he's doing.
Yeah. So 2 things, right? First thing is the numbers, right? The numbers say that the Lakers played the Grizzlies 3 times this season. Jared Jackson Jr. had 5 fouls in each game. So that backs up what you're saying there. But to me, it kind of feels like Jared Jackson Jr. gets a more favorable whistle. While he doesn't get a favorable whistle at all, I would agree with what you said, Fred. I think it's even worse on the road, right? I feel like he gets into more foul trouble when he's on the road. So it could, potentially play in his favor today. I know to me, it feels like this game is the one that's a kind of toss up because I'm reading the comments in the YouTube section and everybody's saying, I'm on the Laker money line today, and other people saying fade the Lakers. The Lakers don't have a chance to win. So, and I'm keep getting questions, thoughts on the Grizzlies first quarter and, first quarter team total. I'm not touching it. Like I just really want to sit and watch. I don't feel like I need to have a bet, on every single game, like just if you feel strongly and confident enough, to put something in, then just stand on it and play whatever it is that you said. But I want to see how it kind of plays out, and I do lean towards, like I said, even though LeBron does not have the best, first quarter, first game of the series on the road record. It does kind of feel like, the Lakers can keep this game close, man. They're just playing really good basketball, a totally different team than they were. But the Grizzlies are really good at home as well. So if the Lakers going to have, win this series, they are going to have to win a game in Memphis, of course, because you only get 3 home games and you have to win one of those. But, I'm just talking long-term now, but I just kind of want to see. I want to sit and watch. I will be watching this game in its entirety, of course, because I'm a diehard Laker fan. So we'll see how it goes, but I don't feel like I need to bet on it. Then I become, emotionally and financially indebted to or involved in this game, and I don't want to be that. So,
there was one more thing, just D'Lo, man. Man, honestly, like I know you're saying the under, but I don't know, man. I think if the Lakers really want to have a chance to win this series, D'Lo has to play good. I mean, if he don't play good, I know Schroeder and Reeves, and they've been producing, but I think D'Lo, he got to make some shots out there, man. There's no way he can get away with, I don't know what he scored, 2 points against Minnesota last time.
Yep.
That was abysmal, bro. I mean, he was clapping on the sidelines. Like, he got to go out there and hoop a little bit. I mean, there's no way he scores two. I mean, he could go under his points, but I think he gets a couple more in today. He gets a couple more shots in. I just think he needs to learn how to run the pick and roll better with AD. I mean, he just got there I don't know. When Schroeder's in, you can see, like, the pick and roll with AD is much cleaner. So I don't know. I think D'Lo, he could be a sneaky candidate maybe for, like, don't be surprised he hits 5 threes and, he cashes his, like a ladder just on some, it's NBA playoffs. You never know who's going to step up. So I think D'Lo might have a big game today. I might get there. I might just look into it a little bit more.
Okay. So we kind of on the opposite side there, Fred. I think he struggles. Yeah, I mean, and that could be wrong, but so I'm looking at it in 5 career.
He didn't play well against Memphis, huh?
I know he didn't play well against Memphis last year in the playoffs when he was on the Timberwolves, but so he scored. He played the Timberwolves. That was a 7-game series. He scored 15 points, which is what his line is at. One time he had 22 points. The other games he had 10, 11, 10, 12, and 7. And I think he had more usage on that team where he was a third scorer. Well, he still be a third option on today's team as well. But to me, it kind of feels like I was about to say Reeves might kind of jump in and take that. And you look at him for his career, he had 5 career playoff games with the Brooklyn Nets from 2018 to 2019. He averaged 19.4 during that span, but in 2021, in those 6 games that he played in, he only averaged 12 points on 33% shooting, 4 for 12, collectively throughout that kind of combined. So not the greatest, run for him. I think, potentially one of those guys that might play a little bit better at home. But like I said, it's just a lean right now. I didn't play D'Angelo Russell under the 15.5. It is something that I was looking at because he could get snatched. I just don't see where we had him on defense either. Bragg. Like what
do you think his big struggle? Like, why do you think he's struggling so much on offense? Like,
well, he struggled against the Timberwolves because they're really good, and that's honestly, is one of the reasons I was looking at Jamal Murray to go under today as well. I just feel like the Timberwolves are really good on defense at the guard position, and D'Lo's one of those players. He's a rhythm player, right? So he's boom or bust. If he scores, it could be like you said, 25, 20. But if he doesn't, he's sitting on the bench, giving guys high fives, right? So it's one, he's a boom or bust type player in my estimation, Bragg, and it's because his jump shot is, kind of his bread and butter. If he's not getting other guys involved, he reminds me a little bit of a Spencer Dinwiddie, right? I took Spencer Dinwiddie under yesterday, and
to cut you off, but did you see Dinwiddie yesterday throwing them lobs? My God,
yeah, he was throwing them joints to Manute Bol or like Sean Bradley. Them joints was like they was touching the ceiling. He was throwing them so high. But yeah, I was happy. I was as long as the ball wasn't going in, I was happy. Yeah, but he kind of reminds me of Spencer Dinwiddie and just how how he plays against really good, elite defense. And I feel like the Grizzlies, play defense in this spot as well. I think, a lot of unders are going to go. A lot of these player props are going to go under. I just don't really know exactly which ones I'm going to take yet. But like I said, I'll get there and I'll definitely share them as well. Yeah,
I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
The insight, and my bad for taking too much.
No. It's all good. It's all good, Frank. Before we close out, I got my guy Caleb up. Caleb, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Caleb. What we looking at today, man?
I was so happy when I saw you on. I haven't been on here in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. What you looking at today?
Well, I have some good news and some bad news. Today, I like the Grizzlies -4. But with that being said, I still think the Lakers win the series. Like we saw in Sacramento last night, the Kings took the first game, but I still think the Warriors take the series. I think it just comes down to this recency bias that the Lakers have had. They made the playoffs after their horrible start. I think they're going to come out very slow today. So I'm specifically targeting the Grizzlies first quarter. But I really like the Lakers to win the series. But it's just tough. Like, it just depends on how well, like,
I think you broke up, Fred. Yeah, you dropped back down to listener. So I know, people want to bet on the game. I'm not betting. Like I said, first game, I'm not betting it. If I had to lean, I think I would lean towards the Timberwolves, even though I feel like the Lakers can cover and win the game. I just want to mention this real quick because I talked about it at the beginning, and then I'm going to actually get off. I'll go over the one official play that I gave out and a couple of the leans that I talked about as well. But I talked about the live line, right? So if the Lakers do get down in this game, which, is really, really, it can happen, right? Like that's believable because the Grizzlies do play well at home. The live line spread either at the end of the third quarter, if the Memphis Grizzlies are winning by, potentially 8 or 9 points, or, if the Grizzlies jump out on the Lakers, I do think that, the Lakers catching that live line will be good. It should be better than the 3.5 or the 4 number that you could take right now if you do want to bet the Lakers. And I'll just read this over again. So, of course, regular season doesn't, carry over into the playoffs completely. But like I said, what's been consistent is the Grizzlies and the Lakers and how they play in the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies have been notoriously bad at closing the game. They finished the season with the second worst fourth quarter offensive rating at 107, behind only the San Antonio Spurs, who were tanking in the fourth quarter to get Victor Wembanyama. And the net rating was a -5.2 on the season in the fourth quarter. So throughout the entirety of the season, they just weren't a good fourth quarter team. Typically just run out of gas. On the opposite side, you look at the Lakers, they did finish the regular season with the league's best fourth quarter offensive rating at 120.4. And they were the third best in net rating as well. They also finished top 10 in the fourth quarter rebounding and third in effective field goal percentage, second in true shooting as well, shooting percentage. And the Lakers defense, since LeBron got back after the All-Star break in a 10-game sample, only allowed 25.6 points in the fourth quarter. So I do think that if you can get a better number, you do want to look at the Grizzlies look at the Lakers late in the third quarter, or maybe even in the fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, if the game kind of plays out that way and Memphis has a big lead, early in this game. So those are my thoughts on the game. Like I said, the only play that I have, shared that I've played today is the Milwaukee Bucks team total to go over 114.5. Strong leans would be D'Angelo Russell to go under 15.5 points. And I do like the Kawhi look that Fred gave out, over 27.5. I also like the Suns team total to go over to, just to kind of avoid that spread. Like I said, I'm not extremely interested in playing, a lot of those, spreads in the first game of a series. Kind of want to kind of fill it out. But I did give you guys the numbers, and I'll say them one more time before I get out of here. In 319 possessions with Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton on the floor, this team is a plus 19.7 in points per in point differential. They're ranked in the 99th percentile, scoring 125 points 100 per possessions, points per 100 possessions. They're in the 100th percentile in effective field goal percentage at 61.8, which is absolutely insane. And their defense is also in the 98th percentile, 105.6. Effective field goal percentage, allowing opponents to just 48.3 effective field goal percentage, which also ranks in the 99th percentile as well. So those are the numbers that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Best of luck on all your action today. I didn't play the Suns yet, but I'm pretty close to playing the Suns and playing Kawhi Leonard to go over his points as well. And if I like anything live, like I said, I'll always, share it. I haven't placed any live bets recently. Like I said, just kind of watching, learning, but I will probably play some live bets sooner or later. So best of luck to you guys on all your looks, man. I hope you guys cash them, and I'll be back tomorrow to look at the games that we have coming up. I'm out.